I need you to go to the video section of my YouTube and watch the pre-recorded video I dropped. We're going to be pumping out more pre-recorded videos. Seems to be a greater way to grow the channel rather than strictly doing 2-hour live streams. I know I've built my audience that way, but we're going to try to appeal to the quote unquote normie crowd of the world. And so, yeah, pumping out high quality content over there. Talked earlier today, 30-minute video about some of the riskiest players in fantasy football. I was going to write an article on this, but I figured, you know what? Let's just go live. Let's just make the video. Isaac said he loved the vid. Here we go. Hey, Liam. I'm a fan of the thumbnail I made today. Goated thumbnail. It's a guy eating rice. And it says, down goes rice. Yo. So, hope you folks are doing wonderful. Even if you don't agree with all my takes, I gave a reason. Hey, I'm Team Rice here. I am Team Rice. We're here for engagement. Hey, BP, appreciate you. Ran out of beer, so we're having a glass of wine. Going to sushi place, going to Japan, going to the bottom of ADP. Yeah! At first, I thought you were saying that you were going to Japan. I was stoked for you. Rice is cooked. Seen Rice going mid-third still. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it is a Sauv Blanc. Honestly, yeah, classy is not exactly what we do around here, but where is Rice going to settle? I don't know. I think it's going to take some time for him to fall, right? People see he has an ADP of 20 and they're in. By the way, we're in a big dog. We need 2 more here. Giving you big dogs. I don't know how many big dogs we're doing, but we're in the mood. Anyways, yeah. This is why I'm a big proponent of game theory, right? And I think if you were drafting early, especially if you used my ranks, you were getting Rice early, right? I had Rice ranked at the 2-3 turn basically since the contest opened. He was available at the 3-4 turn. Once he was going in the middle of the second, I didn't take him a single time. I don't want to take, even though I like Rashee Rice a lot, I don't want to take him at the expense of Ladd McConkey and co. I don't want to take him at the expense of Brock Bowers, Jonathan Taylor, Bucky Irving, because I already have Rice at a cheaper price, right? And so, just like how last year, I was the one saying, well, I think Rashee Rice could be an awesome pick, but game theory-wise, it just doesn't make sense. When there's teams that have a guy at the 10th round, I am not taking him at the 3-4 turn. I'm not doing that. And, good process. We got rewarded, right? Obviously, Rice would have been a great pick. However, risk is part of this game we're playing here, right? So, and again, this is a game, like a lot of people don't understand the game we're even playing. I don't care if Rashee Rice scores a single point in the regular season. If the man is going to drop 30 points across weeks 15, 16, 17, I want him on my teams, right? T. Higgins missed a bunch of time last year. Simply, you had to have him to win. I would know because I got 30th in Best Ball Mania instead of second. Big dog. Mr. Pete Overzet in here. Chris, he was in the last one. We're here at the 10 hole. One of the best places to be picking. Happy about it. No Renegades. Someone's asking about Renegades. You didn't make this one. Yeah, I do agree that there's a lot of things that sound smartish and people feel smart saying, like, how do you even disagree with, well, you can't win if you don't get to the finals? Thank you, genius. I understand that. You can't win if you don't get to the playoffs. Wow, dude, you're saying profound stuff right now. Let me take a seat. We all accept that, right? And so, yeah, the game is not how many points do you score week 5. So I'm not going to be taking Rice in the second. I'm not going to be taking Rice in the third. Why? Because I think he's going to fall to the back end of the fourth, and he might fall even further in softer lobbies. Like, it's still uncertain, right? And it takes usually time for people to fall, you know? So folks, make sure you watch that pre-recorded video I put on the riskiest players and what to do with them. My suggestion, draft or pass. Love being at the 10 hole. This is a $500 big dog. We're going to edit the video. Even though Down Goes Rice is an electric title. NFL best ball. We'll just add $500 draft. Not going to do a ton of these, so got to get the max marketing out of them when you do, you know? Chris, not a believer in the video. Where do I think he goes in the eliminator? Oof, even later. Let's do Mr. Nico Collins. There's just an off chance we get a Monra at the wrap. So I gonna have an article coming out on the playoffs spots I want. Sorry, that one I'm gonna save for the site subscribers. Wow. Quick picks. Hashtag quick picks. Nico. Who we feeling with you today? Lad gives us the week 17, obviously. Drake London is simply a player I like a lot. I mean, I like all these guys. We're going to do Drake. Mr. D London. Meant to do this on the last big dog draft I did, but the format of this, for those curious, you got to go 2 out of 12, then 1 out of 6, 1 out of 6, and only got to beat 10 people. If you make the finals, 10K minimum. First is 200K. Still think playing for first is quite important, by the way. And week 17 correlation for small finals, what you're telling yourself is, I don't need 99.99 percentile outcomes. I just got to beat 10 teams. So me getting a week 17 correlation is an easier path for me to get a 90 percentile outcome. So if I went Nico and Lad, right? This is why, like, you know, we all like a DK draft here and there. But this is why I personally think it's like harder to win on DK, despite it being a softer field, is like, I mean, there's just going to be crazy ADP gaps there, and you can't control that, you know? You know, this is fair, J Lives. I'm going to add a football to it. I added my face, but yeah. Yeah, the big dog might fill. Let's look at it. Was that an Irish bar? Absolutely waxed my girlfriend in darts. She's tight about it. I have good vision. I have 2010 vision. That's twice as good as 2020. So vision games typically my thing. I don't know. There should be a percentile. Maybe I'm just blind right now. 33% filled. All right. No risk of filling then. I don't think Bucky should go in the first round, but yeah, closer to the 1-2 turn, I would accept. But it's like, you know, it's a little Sophie's choice here. You're going to take Bucky. You're not taking AJ Brown. We're going to let AJ Brown go to the third round? Nah. You're going to take Bucky. You're not taking Drake London. You're not taking Achane. I'm actually not a big Guinness guy. I don't like the darker beers. I know. I like Amon-Ra's week 17. Whew. What's the movement on Worthy? I think he will like incorrectly. Wow. I mean, Rashid Rice just goes here, so it's clearly going to be a slow fall, folks. Also, this guy might just have no idea, right? What a beautiful world we live in. Someone can draft a $500 football team, and he has no effing clue Rashid Rice is staring down the barrel of a 6-game suspension. But I think Worthy will like incorrectly jump to the third. I personally, and I've been ahead of Worthy. I have him ranked 41. His ADP had fallen to 46. This is roughly where I think. I think he's a 3-4 turn type of bet. He's a risky bet, right? But the upside case is there. Wow, I was gonna just fire off Jaden. All right, let's do Kyren. Have almost no Kyren. Not a look, Jarquez Hunter, we could look back and be like, wow, we let Kyren Williams to the X round because of Jarquez Hunter. Obviously, week 17 correlation with Drake London here. And in general, like I want to be getting some of these running back, like Kyren, Cook, Brees. I like these guys. Yeah, feels correct. I think in the 5th, Rice will just be an auto click for me. I think we're going to go Kyren and James Cook here. I thought that was Terry. Yeah, we're giving Terry to the Jaden drafter, but this is a very comfortable start. 2 elite wideouts, 2 swings at elite running back production. Much prefer the double wideout 2 running backs to the double running backs 2 wideouts. Oh, pulling Bucky up to the second for uniqueness purposes, absolutely. But that's a different discussion versus him just firmly being a first round pick. By the way, folks, be sure to like and subscribe. You're not getting this level of best ball content much else, many other places, arguably anywhere else. High stakes, drafts. Join the Discord. Link is below. I think we can make our camera big enough now. Yeah, Mike Williams did. I mean, look, Mike Clay, blame Mike Clay. Mike Clay had Mike Williams projected for like 700 yards. So I thought I was being responsible. But Mike Williams did retire. Now he got hurt, so it's like he could unretire, But yeah, maybe another data point that the Mike Clay projections aren't everything. Yeah, I just really disagree. If you like, no offense, Kyle, but this sounds smart, right? Kyren and Cook, super fragile. Like let's be real. Let's be real with who's the poster boy for a dead zone running back pick of the past? Mike Davis. Kyren and James Cook are nothing like Mike Davis. Nothing. Right? So you can not like the guys, but calling them dead zone backs, I don't know. It gives me the vibe of like the best ball guy smelling his own farts in the wine glass. That character. If y'all get what I'm saying there. I'm not going to call James Cook the safest pick. Just because there are ranges where Ray Davis plays a lot. Cook holds in, whatever. I mean, James Cook was a literal second-round pick in the NFL draft. Highest draft capital on the team. I personally think he is pretty talented. Wow, nice. I don't really think the running back dead zone exists anymore. Right? Like the dead zone backs, if you want to call them that, are probably these guys. Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard, Isaiah Pacheco. Those are your dead zone picks, but they go in the 7th and 8th round. Like I don't think people understand how much the market has changed. The first year I played best ball, there was almost no wide receivers at all in the first round. At all. Think about that. So it's just like the market has totally changed. A lot of these guys are legitimate running backs to like a lot, right? Amaro Hampton, a literal first round pick. Ken Walker, very explosive. Chuba Hubbard, he's Kyron-esque where there is risk there, but like I like the upside a lot, right? Newsflash, you got to swing it upside sometimes. Wow. Nice little steal on Jalen Waddle. Pick 58. So, in these higher stake drafts, people wanted to get their running backs, James Conner, Joe Mixon, Chuba. So makes going double running back feel good. Kyle, you're allowed to think whatever you want. People also thought Blake Corum. People thought Kyron was a punt returner. And I'm going to guess you were in that category. No offense. I personally feel really good about having 2 running backs on 2 of the best offenses in football. All right. So Chris Godwin gives us week 17 correlation against Waddle. I think we're going to do Chris Olave, though. I have a bag on Chris Olave. Can't quite remember what my big dog exposure is. Jennings I like too. He's pretty coin flippy, these 2 guys. But yeah. 2 running backs, 4 wideouts. And it's like, the last thing on the dead zone. When you're talking about dead zone, it comes at, if you're taking dead zone backs, it means it comes at the expense of your wide receivers. My wide receivers are Nico Collins, Drake London, Jalen Waddle, and Chris Olave. So no, friend, nothing. To me, I got to eat my cake and eat it too. I think this is like legitimately one of the nutted ways you can start drafts this year. You can swap Kyron and Cook for Breece and Hampton or whatever. But yeah, I think this is like probably the optimal. Some variation of this. Is the Mixon Tua addict in this draft? He is not. Chuck, I've not seen the new Superman. I'm going to need you to stay focused here, Chuck. You bring a lot of topics out of left field. This is a $500 big dog, Chuck. Rein it in. Why are people so hesitant to draft Travis Hunter? You know what it is, Mysterious? It's that we are playing a very high variance thing, a very chaotic thing. And people want to feel like they have more control over it than they do. And they think by fading a guy with huge upside, but like downside, they're like more likely to win a very top heavy tournament. Where the way I approach it is like, wow, this could be the literal person you have to win. Let me make that bet. Cade, congrats on maxing BBM. Yeah, right. Like, look, you know, if Kyron and Cook aren't for you, you want to do Brees and Hampton. I like those guys too. One of the Kyron, I'm a little bit more worried about with Cook simply because I just get the vibe that this is the Stafford 40 touchdown year, which means Kyron is not doing it. And there is some rumorings that maybe they do want more explosives, which isn't really Kyron's game. We were tired of people saying I was short. By the way, kind of Ricky Pearsall straight up over Juwan Jennings. How are we feeling about that? Is the camera too big? We can do no camera. We can just do draft board. No, definitely not. Why would it? Pete has T. Higgins. Sonny Dan has Jamar Chase. So even though this guy has Lamar, I think you just take Joe Burrow there. I would do the same thing they did. What, like, who is the player who you are stamping? Like, there has to be a guy who you think is a legitimate head and shoulders better pick to pass on Joe Burrow there. Like, if you're like, oh, I absolutely need Deebo Samuel or Tony Pollard, where personally, like, I kind of feel like this whole tier, guys, is like a flattish tier. Jesse Morse, are you available? It'd probably be electric doing a best ball draft with him. He'd just be like citing quack stuff. I'm not calling him a quack. But he'd be like, oh, yeah, Mike Evans' horoscope is very bad. I mean, crazy steal on Laporta, right? I personally like the Laporta bet. His season was really like a tale of two seasons last year, if you look at it. He was like quite injured, and then he like smashed down the stretch. So yeah, I'll take the discounted Laporta. Aaron Jones would have made sense with Laporta. Hashtag not this time. I just don't feel like doing Judkins right now. I am not in the mood. Mooney with London. Ayuk. You know what? We did a video on Ayuk today. Give us Ayuk. Just imagine seeing this team in your playoff pod. Nico, London, Waddle, Olave, Brandon Ayuk, Laporta, Kyron Cook. You're like, wow, I'm not better than this team at any position. They would just click the forfeit button. In general, Zeus, if guys are going to miss games, their worst pick on total points platforms. Yeah, again, I've not drafted Kyron a bunch, but you have to be really disingenuous / idiotic to like discount the upside case because we've seen it multiple years running. It's around 1,200 yards and around 13 touchdowns. Simply, that's what he's done, only on the ground. And again, like fantasy football brain, it's so easy to just like not think about what actually matters to NFL coaches. If Blake Corum or Jarquez Hunter goes out there and whiffs a blitz pickup, we may never hear from those guys again. When's the last time you heard of Zach Evans? Exactly. You know what Kyron does really well? He picks up the goddamn blitz, which is very valuable when your quarterback is a statue like Matt Stafford and old. So, yeah, miss me with the analysis of he can't run 80 yards. We know what we're getting with Kyren. I've done it, man. I think I've done teams with Rice, Godwin, and Ayuk. Yes, Kyle, this is real football. I'm assuming a foreign idea to you or something. This guy has the worst takes too. No offense, JT. But I feel good that now I want more Kyren. Now that I know you're so out, he's not an auto pick for me simply because I do like Cook because he's more explosive than Kyren, and I don't get the vibe that Josh Allen is necessarily going to throw for 50 touchdowns. He made the video on the risky picks. Hey, man, we let people feel themselves out here. So we got like infinite quarterbacks that make sense for us. Stroud, Penix, Tua, Goff, Purdy. I'm sure we'll get none of them. Fun fact, I was voted funniest in high school. I didn't roast people, though. It's the beautiful, beautiful thing of July drafts, DeMar. Purdy. If we do want Goff, we got to take him before Leo does. Let's see if there's anyone that tickles our fancy. Okay. We would have done Judkins at 106. I mean, Cooper Kupp does open up another quarterback. Why not? I'm a sucker for an ADP value. And when this guy goes Goff, we'll just go a running back. And that, friends, is how you end up with no quarterbacks in the big dog. Cooper Kupp and Ayuk, they pair well together, right? Maybe Cooper Kupp's ADP is just fake, because this is like the second draft in a row. I think we got him 10 picks past ADP. I don't really hate Kupp that much. Yeah, I think we'll just do Tyrone Tracy. Our fade video had Cam Scatterbo. You know why Cam Scatterbo fails? Because it's Tyrone Tracy's backfield. Thoughts on Knicks? I question how much room there is for more. Like when you think of Knicks, you thought he had more rushing production than he did. 430 and 4 is nice. I mean, he has better pass catchers, right? He's got Evan Ingram. Pat Bryant should be an upgrade. I started the season pretty high on him, but yeah, he's in like this range. The only thing about Kupp is like I do like Keon. I do like Bateman. I do like Trey Harris. All these guys kind of like scream touchdowns to me. But it's also very easy to squint and be like, oh, Sam Darnold just decided to throw Kupp the ball 15 times a game. Of course he did. Jalen Royals, I'm not really doing it that much. I've had a higher rank on Hollywood Brown this whole time, so feel good about that. Wow, roasted, man. Roasted me. I was not homeschooled. I don't know. We all have haters out there, but I'm assuming it's because prior year Davises would have just slammed Xavier Worthy. Dude, you're about to get banned. Just kidding. I mean, Tracy was a literal wide receiver, so I don't know. I feel good about the team. Kyron, Cook, Tracy, Nico, London, Waddle, Olave, Ayuk, Kupp, Sam Laporta. Get a second tight end. Get 2 to 3 quarterbacks. Go win 200 grand. It was public school. Just enter his giveaway. Now, this is an auto ban. Where are my mods at? I thought we banned these words. A content house. Look, kids, I know what you need. 2 30-year-old men going through existential crises and drafting fantasy football teams. Tune in at 6 p.m. They go to bed at 7. I don't think it's copium. I think Rashee Rice bags are still fine. All right, we didn't get Stroud. See, we got the shots. I was supposed to be on Pete's best ball breakfast this past Monday, but he told me he booked another guest. So I think this upcoming Monday I'm coming on. I mean, comp. Nothing is required ever. But oh dude, Kyle, get out of here, man. North of 30. This is an old Ryan DePaulo joke. This would be fun. I could see myself living in St. Louis. But yeah, man, I mean, correlation comp, just think of it as like an easier path to winning. Look, guys, it's scheduling mistakes have happened. I've done it before. One year I scheduled Gretch and Sean Siegel, and then I went on a Pete show and got hungover. And so I ended up being like, sorry, I can't come on. And then they didn't want to come on. So mistakes happen. Wow. This feels kind of crazy to pass on Justin Herbert, even though he's naked. We're gonna rip a Nico Herbert here. I think he's gonna run for a lot more this year. He does correlate with Nico. We might have to draft redacted later. I do like 2 and 2, but in a draft room where I see, Stroud go, Love go. Plus, I have like Whiplash from the DK 555s who are like quarterback. Like Herbert goes in the 8th there. We're just gonna get a quarterback, figure it out later. You think I look older when I shaved? Honestly, low key, I don't think Keenan Allen is not a good replacement for Mike Williams. If you want to make that um, connection, I would say that Amari Cooper makes sense. Man, do we pass on the quarterbacks? I don't think we can. I think we just take Penix here, figure it out later. Like, I really want to take Kincaid. Maybe a younger me would. But yeah, we're just going to take Penix here. If I knew for a fact I could get Tua in the next round, I would not pass, or I would pass on Penix. But, we made the bet on Drake London. We didn't get Stroud. Who cares about his ADP, right? Like, his ADP should correlate with London. We have this week 17 correlation built out. Y'all get the picture. Unfortunately, I already have. Yeah, but the point is that, like, Mike Williams' job on the Chargers would be like a jump ball sacrificial X. That's not Keenan Allen. I mean, it's really not that crazy, Herbert naked, because it's like, if you don't have Lad McConkey, who else is taking him? No one. So he's a good candidate to backstack. Could take Quentin Johnston. And my tight end of choice with Herbert is Tyler Conklin. Trey Harris. Sorry. Yeah. Forgot him. But even that, I feel like people are just not doing that as much, because I've done it and I'm like, I barely drafted QJ, but sure, man. There was Chargers put out a couple videos today. One is Justin Herbert with red contacts. Absolutely freak of nature looking like that. The other was the very first rep of Quentin Johnston catching passes. I don't even got to tell you, but he dropped the ball. Of course he did. You wanted Herb? What the hell are you are you jump free? Oh, you're Leo Rams? I was going to say, if you're jump free, simply take him instead of Jordan Love. Honestly, confusing choice from this guy, right? Not really, because he has Kraft and Golden, so I guess he preferred the double stack. I think most people prefer to stack their earlier drafted pick. But yeah, it makes sense that you wanted Trey. Hey, I wanted Goff, so. Yeah, I just think, like, people are wary of the Lions, but it's probably bad by the market. Like, most likely outcome, the Lions just smash. All right, we don't get QJ. The Stroud drafter picks him up for some week 17 correlation. Oh, no, we don't get QJ. Shucks. Pete is building a team that, like, this is the kind of team the Sims like a lot. 4 wide receivers and then stop. There's logic to it. I think we just have to take Tua. Oh, no, Tua went. All right. Well, good thing we took our quarterbacks early. I think we need the running back more than anything. So we're going to take Mr. Tyler Algier. Correlates with Penix, of course. Yeah, no. That's a no for me, dog. I don't think he needs him to miss time. He just needs to score the touchdowns. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. But, come on. You just got to, like, I've barely drafted any Kyle Pitts. If I'm wrong on that front, let's win the big dog. We have Penix. Why not? Herbert, Michael Penix, Kyron James Cook, Tyron Tracy, Tyler Algier, Nico Collins, Drake London, Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave, Brandon Ayuk, Cooper Kupp, Sam Laporta, Kyle Pitts. No real limitations to this team. Could easily just build a 2-6-8-2. If Darnold makes it back to us, could take him. Could definitely do a third tight end with Kyle Pitts being garb. 5 or 6 running backs makes sense. 7 to 9 wide receivers. So yeah, like the core of our team has been made. The core of our team is these 2 quarterbacks, these 4 running backs, these 6 wideouts, these 2 tight ends. We got 4 more picks. I'm not doing it, Mark, but in theory, yeah. I'm comfortable. Yeah. I do like Jonnu more than Kyle Pitts straight up. We took Kyle Pitts for the week 7, for the stack. Right? And that's how you should draft. You should be like, you should let your previous decisions guide your future decisions. I mean, what are you asking, Wilby? Do I draft any of these guys? Of course I draft these guys. I draft all 3 of these guys. I don't think it's essential I stack him, Martin. But yeah, if I do a third tight end, Conklin, probably the guy. Pour some out. Pour some out. Oh, who do I prefer? That's a rankings question, man. They're all very similar though. WONJ lives, but yes, I did max that year. If it's not Brock, Trey, or George, it's Dalton Kincaid. Other bet is Sam Laporta. David Njoku, Colson Loveland, Tucker Kraft. Got a lot of Tucker Kraft. Yeah, I'm going to have this article out too. Did this last year too, but just like rarely drafted players. Conklin will make the list. I mean, honestly, so would Will Dissly. I'm not doing the Will Dissly thing, but I do prefer Conklin to Oronde Gadsden. I mean, this is egregious. Can we get... All right, well, we got to take Darnold first. I wasn't planning to do 3 quarterbacks, but I see this guy has JSN. And so when you can stomp on someone's sandcastle, you just got to. 3 quarterbacks, totally fine for my team. We don't get Jonnu, which low-key might work out for us. We didn't click them. Yeah, Deuce, we'll have managed ranks. Sorry, Devin, we don't help slow drafters. May you rot in hell. Just kidding. Oh, yikes. Jonnu, Rodgers goes. See, this guy wanted his third quarterback. I don't even care about the third quarterback. That's my edge on these folks. So no need to take a running back, really. I think we just go Diami. Keenan does make Keenan makes some sense because it's like, oh, is he gonna be a Charger? Maybe we should, you know what? Fine. We're just gonna do that. We're gonna take Keenan, and we're gonna say he's a Charger. I don't think it's that logical because, again, he's not a one-to-one replacement of Mike Williams. But I feel like the market is going to make this connection. So with us having Keenan, we can just pretend that's a Herbert stack. And again, look, it's not essential you stack for a 10-person final. So these last two picks, I kind of think they should be running back. Definitely one will be running back. Yeah, maybe we just build a 3-5-7-2. You know what? This dude's a loser. Let's just put him in timeout. Goodbye, JT. Peace. Hit him with the Tyreek. Dude, I mean, August, the quarterback prices are going to be insane. By the way, Darnold, I think he's like unfairly cheap. How Pete built here with Burrow and Caleb, like for me, that's I think when you get Burrow, it's almost always two quarterback for me. Taking Dak because you have CD, like, okay, I get it. I mean, it is good ADP value, right? Darnold pick, no, pretty much at ADP. Cup, though, the value. In theory, guys like Cup and Keenan, they fit well with Ayuk. I feel pretty good about this team. Just need... Yeah, I think we're just going to pass on Tyler Conklin, and I'm kind of tempted to do two running backs. Like, in theory, I'm telling myself that these three guys are starters, Kyron, Cook, and Tracy. And if you have three starters, you're good enough at running back. Kind of, yes, Mark. It already kind of almost is. Like, only because it's Joe Burrow. Because I personally think that the quarterbacks usually are somewhat cheaper come August. Although if every draft a casual enters, people are taking three quarterbacks. Quarterback prices are going to go up, right? And then also the casual crowd is simply a Joe Burrow goes Burr type of crowd, right? Like the man wears a suit and glasses and it's like game over. That's like the goddamn Matrix to them. Ugh. I mean, this is just a math question, Adam. 1 divided by 12. So I do strongly prefer Justice Hill to Nick Chubb, but we're going to take Nick Chubb for the week 17 correlation. He's higher in ADP too. 1 divided by 12 is 8.3%. So that's your base ownership. So if you're above 8.3, you're above the field. If you're below 8.3, you're below the field. Well, that's because Fantasy Flock has a big YouTube account because of his pre-recorded videos, I think. I mean, I don't really know. And all of my content has been streamed content. So like my viewers are real viewers. You know what I mean there? I think we're going to do 2-2. Ray is also a decision. No, he's not. He got drafted. All right. Mr. Tutu. Who drafted Ray McLeod in the 16th? He was like an unknown guy earlier for us. So we got 3-5-8-2. Herbert, Penix, Sam Darnold, Kyron Cook, Tyrone Tracy, Tyler Algier, Nick Chubb, Nico, London, Waddle, Olave, Ayuk, Cup, Keenan Allen, Tutu Atwell, Sam Laporta, Kyle Pitts. Team feels pretty good to me. I mean, there's no disrespect from me to Fantasy Flock. It's just fact. My channel is almost all live streams. So that is why I have strong live viewership numbers, even though there are channels that have a lot more subscribers than me, right? People like Flock or Ron or, like, I love those guys, but most of their content is pre-recorded videos. So they have a lot more subs than me. And that's why I'm trying to do pre-recorded videos. I'm trying to get to their level in that way. Right? But my subs are real people, right? Like I'm not saying these guys have done this at all, but some channels also just like buy subs. So we like this squad. Let's name it. Nick Chubb, not my favorite pick, but you break ties towards correlation. Justin Herbert, 3 rushing touchdowns week 17. Let's get it, gang. It's not what I'm saying at all. I have good and bad takes too. Flock is better than me at YouTube. Point blank, period. I did the timestamps myself for the pre-recorded video. Let's name this sucker. The big dog. Herbert, Penix, Darnold, Kyron Cook, Tracy Algier, Nick Chubb, Nico, London, Waddle, Olave, Ayuk, Cooper Kupp, Keenan Allen, Tutu Atwell, Sam Laporta, Kyle Pitts. Team feels good to me. 7-17. If I could type. Streamed. We'll give you folks a second stream. Thank you. How did Pete's team end up? Ask him. No, I'm kidding. I'll show you. Pete got a Burrow, Caleb, Dak. He did get the ADP value on Dak, so makes him more defensible. But he lost the ADP value on Caleb. So that cancels out somewhat. Someone was suggesting he pushed Joe Burrow. Definitely not in a big dog. You could argue also that like getting Burrow at such an ADP discount should have steered him towards 2 QB. Ken Walker, Pacheco, Spears, Eckler, Ford, Brooks. So definitely a weaker running back room, but like I like these two guys. Got to get the points here. Jerome Ford, we got a bag on him already. Lamb, Tyreek, Higgins, Moore, Beck, Douglas, Dami Brown. Wide receiver room feels fine to me. Kelsey and Ferg. Going to be tough when Kelsey retires week 6, but I mean, I do think McCarthy's getting a little steamed. Just kind of have to acquiesce to ADP, though. What is the sandbagger? The sandbagger. What should we draft here? Let's draft a puppy for the people. If you want to draft with me, it is $5. I'm going to pour in this wine, then we're going to enter this. So I'm giving you time. You want to draft with me? We don't price out anyone on this channel. $5. We're ripping a puppy too. All right, folks. We're entering in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoa. This is probably going to be our only puppy too, and we got the 101. Devin the Dude, definitely a dude in my chat. Cade, definitely a dude in my chat. Let us know, folks. If you're in this draft, let us know. Rajor at 4. Welcome in, sir. 106. Welcome in. 106 is one of the best spots, man. 3 spot. Good luck, sir. Pick 11. Good luck, sir. Yeah, a lot of people think 6 is the best spot because you get the tail end of the Bijan, Saquon, Gibbs, Lamb, whoever's there. And then you also usually get the tail end of the Henry, Taylor, Bucky, Brock, Ladd, whoever's there. But I get Jamar Chase. We're doing it right now, Carlos. I'm sick in the head, so the reason why I don't do as many puppies is I'm like, well, I don't want to. If I draft my best team, I want to win $2 million in Best Ball Mania. I don't want to win 100K. And I'm so sick where if they offer a puppy that's 200K, I will max it, which they usually do. Broken. I am not, Brad. Why would Rice go down? Uncertainty. Folks, we got 200 of you watching right now, 250-ish. Look at my pre-recorded videos and watch the video I put on the risky players this year. Interact with that. Is what it is, man. Oh, I don't hate it, honestly. I have night sweats about that. Puka 102, I like it, man. You should be getting unique in these streets. My God, dude. I've had a glass of wine. This guy's had a bottle of tequila. I'm in the dead center of Montana, so can't draft with you. I drive 200 miles to Wyoming just to enter a piles of slows. This is a safe space, Wilby. I love that for you. Dude, you must have such awesome nature. Like the things you see on the daily, as most of us are in like shitty little cities, you probably just have like a river through your backyard. You got like packs of wolves, bison, sunsets, and like, the Milky Way that we could only dream of. Worth it, dude. Worth it. I'm sure you're doing life right out there. I'm sure you got like a fireplace in your house. I actually wrote the book on that. No, I didn't. I mean, low key, I grew up in New Hampshire. I could see the Milky Way from my yard. I live in Florida. Too much light pollution. Michigan, I'm sure you got some nice nature out there. Wow, look at this dude. 2 fireplaces. I'm so envious of a fireplace. I love a fire. I love that. Cheers, Cade. Appreciate you, sir. Good luck. Good luck in this draft. The Cape, pretty nice. So I like snow. I just don't like the cold as much. Yeah, see, dude, you got to see a star, Brady. When I lived in New York City, I didn't even leave the city. Let's do McBride and Tyreek. McBride and Chase is chalk, but it feels like good chalk to me. The Bengals were legit the worst team at defending tight ends last year. Trey McBride scored like 16 points per game, and he scored 2 touchdowns. Ooh, the wind chill. The wind chill will get you. I mean, dude, Pat didn't like Trey McBride. We're all not perfect. So I like that there are people bullish on Garrett, because I'm not. I get it. He's going to get a big target share. Let's do some quick maths. Let's say he gets 30% of 175 passing yards. That is 52 and a half yards. That ain't paying the bills, folks. Let's just guess in the chat. What is the most amount of touchdowns Justin Fields has thrown in a season? I don't even know the number. Just guess. What is the most touchdowns Justin Fields has thrown in a season? Don't cheat. Comment it below. We're going to look in a second here. 11's disrespectful, right? I mean, I don't know. My guess would be like 14. My guess is 14. 11, 16, 18, 18, 12, 20, 15, 19, 19, 17. Let's see. We're seeing 17 in 2022, 16. So 17 and 16. These are his best years. Now, in his favor, that's kind of what Kyler was last year. Kyler was 21. But yeah, hey. 16 touchdowns, 17 touchdowns. You give a couple to Josh Reynolds. You give a couple to Breece Hall. Things get a little thin out there. No, I mean, Garrett Wilson is an elite wide receiver. I like the talent. He's an elite route runner. But yeah, he's not like, he's closer to Jefferson as far as like ability, like just being good at football. He's not Chase though. Something that takes Chase over the top is he can just run right by you. No, yeah. I like Justin Fields. He's going to run the football. Has nothing to do with Wilson. Max, this was, to me, look, this is like when you go all in with like King Jack and you beat aces. You are correct. DJ Moore smashed that year. It was a lot of big games. It was a thin bet. It worked. So, sure. If we just want to copy Control-C, Control-V, DJ Moore onto Garrett Wilson, I'm sure that looks good. This is crazy. Let's see. Where did Rice go? 44. Silver Daddy said it took everything in him to take Hurts over Rice. I mean, it's the puppy, dude. You got to live. Smith. And I already started saying his name, so we're going to take Hunter too. Yaw. Unique combo, blah, blah, blah. Grown-ass man. Yeah, but something we know about the market is it's not very good. And so I do agree that like 44 feels like a fair price tag where you're like, okay, Rashee Rice with concerns or DJ Moore. Rashee Rice with concerns or Ted McMillan. But the market, if you give it enough time with no news, it will fester. People will feel like it's a falling knife. The ADP is going to fall each day. So I think Rice will make it to the 5th maybe. I mean, look, dude, Targets doesn't pay the bill. People are very silly, Terrence. People are very, very silly. If there's anything I think the past couple of years have confirmed, it's that people are very silly. Hashtag July tie. Keep in mind that if this was like 5 years ago, I would have 30 viewers right now. Best ball's growing, folks. I met some guys at the WSOP. David Baker, ODB. Baker, any fans? I think I'm going to have him on. Thoughts on chances Rodgers having his far Vikings year? I personally will not be surprised at all if Rodgers has a good year because I've said this many times, but he was not supposed to play last year, week 1, and he was simply on the field from the torn Achilles. So it's like, yeah, maybe a full season recovered and he looked better in the second half. Maybe we can get these numbers closer to like, and these weren't even like bad, right? Like this blew Kyler out of the water. So yeah, I'm quite fond of him. It will depend a lot on if we get like hard data on the Rice news. By the way, God bless us getting the Rice news now and not August 30th. But again, I kind of think somewhere in the 3rd. Because to be honest with you, after Tyreek Hill, after really Tyreek Hill, we're just putting names here. Garrett Wilson, Marvin, Devontae, Mike, JSN, Worthy, JMO, Terry, Rice, DJ Moore, Tet, Flower. Like we're just putting names. You know? It's not like, oh, wow, you're crazy preferring Zay Flowers straight up over Devontae. If someone just came to me and said that, I'd be like, oh okay, sure. Let's hear it out. I wouldn't be like, no, one's a 2-3 turn pick and one's a 4-5 pick, you idiot. Got to get your running backs eventually. Let's take these two. Jones and Swift to go with Chase, Tyreek, Smith, Hunter, and McBride. Cam, appreciate the super chat. This is my worst team so far. Can you judge team 6? I'm going to judge it at the end of the draft if you're cool with that. Unless you just want the hot take, mid 7th round take. Travis says he likes it. I mean, Alex, bro. Let's be serious. Darius Davis. Come on. Like, this is like a very thin pick that is okay to mix in. But, like, are you saying he's going to be wide receiver 2? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the market does. And it's not even illogical of the market because it fits the scoring format. You have to start 3 wide receivers a week. So I don't care if Garrett Wilson, Marvin, and Devontae and Mike are going to be outscored by their running backs by 5 points. That's not the game. The game is what's the delta of Mike and Tony Pollard versus Kyron and Diggs. Dude, stop. Quit gaslighting over here. No, it's not crazy to mix in Alex as like a near 0% owned guy. But I would say the same thing about Brendan Rice, right? It's very thin. To be honest with you, Kramer, I felt this way the whole time. He says, call me crazy, but this Rice news is making me way more bullish on Ayuk. I feel that they will probably miss similar amounts of time, but we are dinging Ayuk way more for it than Rice. I felt this way the whole time about Ayuk compared to Godwin and Rice. All of them are uncertain. You can even throw Jordan Addison in there, who it looks like he's getting 3 games. I've taken Diggs, so definitely not fading him. Absolutely, Rhino. I mean, I always build some 2, 4, 12 twos on DK. So 2, 4, 10 2, simply a better version, right? I didn't even look where Joe Burrow went, but we were never in the mix there. What pick are we at? 96? Quarterbacks, Kyler is gone. Let's do Bo Nix. Correlates with absolutely no one, but we just want to take him. Let's do a Bo Nix, Justin Fields team. Why not? 2 guys with rushing upside. How bad can it be? World's not just soups. I'm really tempted to like click on your YouTube profile and like you either have 0 subscribers or you have like 8 million subscribers and you are like the top soup reviewer of the world. No, I mean this is the thing that like some people don't understand. We have seen literal videos of Rashee Rice just like running normally. So it seems like Rice is totally healthy and fine. Ayuk is like, I would say 70% to start on PUP. I accept this as the premise. Addison 3 games, Rice 6. I think Addison might be able to plea down to 2, and maybe Rice gets it down to 4. I prefer these types of bets in like total points contests simply because like I've taken MVS and drafters simply because like let's just say he has 3 30-point games. I don't need them to come at the right time. I just need them to happen. You're taking them in this, you need them to come at the right time too. Well, to be clear, we have no idea what the worst case is. I mean, we know that the market quadruple counts for suspensions. So I think Ayuk's a good click now, but I also agree that the casual crowd will drop him a full round, if not two, if he hits pup. Bo Nix, Justin Fields, Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Devonta Smith, Travis Hunter, Trey McBride. I drafted a lot of DeAndre Swift on the day of BBM launch when his ADP was 100. So I've just gotten a little bit less because of that recently. Doesn't matter in things like the Puppy 2, right? Puppy 2 didn't exist 3 months ago. Won't exist a month from now. Let's do Loveland and Tootin. Very high upside combo. I think it's wrong for Warren to go ahead of Loveland. Like, if we were playing tight end premium, I'd be more accepting about Warren going ahead of Loveland because I could just see Warren getting like a bunch of catches. But that doesn't matter as much for half point PPR. In fact, touchdowns matters the most. And ask yourself how many touchdowns Daniel Jones and Richardson are going to throw. Let's play that game. What is the most amount of touchdowns Daniel Jones has thrown in a season? I don't know the answer. I'm going to guess 21. Which seems high, right? Like, I'm going to guess 21. 15, 19, 20, 22, 19, 18, 23, 21, 26. 26 would be crazy. 25. Well, the past 4 years aren't good, folks. 15. Maybe there's a year that we're missing there. When was his MV? When was the year he was like a smash? Wasn't it 2022? (2019), his rookie year, he threw for 24. Is that even real? Or is that counting rushing touchdowns? What? I mean, the year where he was a good pick, he threw for 15. What happened that one year? In 13 games, he threw for 24 touchdowns. Was this the year they beat the Vikings? I thought that was 22. Well, hey, the answer is 24. Closer baseline to like 10, right? Okay. Oh my God, dude. We never take Javonte. Are we doing it? Fine. This might be my first share in a playoff contest to take Javonte. Take Cedric Tillman. Like him a lot. I think Cedric benefits the team more than like Tua does. I'm not taking a second quarterback. Uh-oh. Am I still there, folks? My internet's kind of crapping out for me. Why Javonte over Blue? Well, one has an ADP of 129. The other one was already drafted. No, he wasn't. The other one has a much later ADP. And I have near 0% Javonte. Maybe actually 0%. So when you get a guy who you don't like at an ADP discount, you're being very egotistical to pass on them. To be like, no, I know so much better than the field. Right? Like, if I'm going to be wrong and Javonte's a smash, let's hope it's this team. Let's hope I win $100,000 and I'm wrong, right? This is the concept of a hedge team. Building a team of players who you don't always draft. Jaden Blue, I've already drafted. I've drafted him at cheaper prices. And Javonte is similar to the Kyron bullet point we gave earlier. Javonte is really good at blitz pickups. He's okay to mix in, David, but I wouldn't go crazy there. Oh, we're back. I'm going to push a ranking update out tomorrow. Copy, but Rice will be somewhere in the 4th for me. I think we're going to go tank here. And we'll go, I mean, both of these guys correlate for week 17. But we'll play the ADP game because there's some chance we get both. And we'll take Josh Palmer. Again, past ADP. Look, in general, scooping up guys who are past ADP who you are not totally out on is pretty valuable. We went toot and in tank, something I don't mind doing at all. I don't think Mahomes drops at all. We'll update the eliminator too tomorrow. I mean, honestly, RM, you should probably wait. I've already done a lot of eliminators. 68. I want to do at least 40 in August, So I think you should save your 25 for August. Do what you want, obviously. Again, folks, if you're just tuning in, I put out a pre-recorded video on risky players that through the top 10 rounds. Go interact with that video. Thank you. Quote unquote, only doing 100. 100's a lot, right? Still, I would save your last 25 for late news. That's personally what I like to do. And I had done 68 early, by the way. I think I didn't really date these ones too well. But before the schedule had done, I had done almost 40 teams. So post-schedule, which came out 5/14, I did another 28 teams. Folks, if you're watching this video later, let me know how many best ball teams you do a year. That'd be so lit, man. I've drafted some good teams. Dude, if Chase Brown just doesn't slide down at the damn 1 yard line. We get second in BBM. 400. That's a lot. I mean, I think 50 is a lot, right? 500. That's a lot. A lot. That's what I've always told, like, anyone who tries to, like, wants to market with me. I'm like, look, I don't have a big channel, but I have I have a community that grinds. Like, people who put down action in the space, follow me. I think this is a lot. This is obviously a lot. What's this team need? Who's our quarterbacks? Bo and Fields. Why not? Let's do the Javonte Miles thing. Kind of tempted to add to it. You know, it's like Troy Franklin. Meh. I still like Jalen Tolbert. Especially like Cavante Turpin got arrested or something. I think he was like drag racing or whatever. Do we ever see anyone win the PPC and main event again in our lifetime? My guess is no. You could go to Wyoming a lot with 7 to 10K. Have you streamed a Superflex? Definitely back when the original one was out. It's not my favorite contest. How many teams do I average? I max BBM, the DK Millie, and drafters. So that's 450 minimum. From there, it depends. I'm gonna max the eliminator, so call that 600. And I don't know if people count the big board. I maxed that. I autoed 20 of them. But I maxed that, and I think I maxed the DraftKings version 2, which I also autoed. A lot of those. The guy from Wyoming says, I think I can beat best ball, but there's no way I can beat the rake and gas. Man, you gotta get a hybrid. Yeah, that team. I have some early gas teams. I have a lot of teams where news has broke its way. What was my live reaction to the Chase Brown slide? I mean, when it happened, I didn't know, Franco. I didn't. I do too. But if you remember, that game was like the second game of the slate. So at the time, I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, I can't win. Because really, it was like he slid down. And then it was like, oh, but that's fine. Like, no one's really gone off. But then T. Higgins and Joe Burrow went for like 50 points. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I guess I just can't win this year. But then all of my players went off. Like, Trey McBride smashed, was low owned. Puka had a good game, was low owned. Devonta Smith smashed, was low owned. So after the fact, I was like, oh, cool. I just get pure second in Best Ball Mania if that doesn't happen. I didn't forget. We're going to make our last pick first. I mean, this is a true thing that we don't really talk about a lot. Like, players who have done idiotic things they tend to do idiotic things more, right? So, I mean, I'm not concerned with it, but yeah, it's in the range. What are we doing on this team? I guess a wideout. I don't know if I got that pick off. I think my presets are 2682, so I think I just took my first share of Josh Reynolds. Let's see. Got to refresh this apparently. I think I got it off, but I don't know. Puppy 2. Got it. Bo Nix, Justin Fields, Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift, Byshell Tootin, Javonte Williams, Tank Bigsby, Miles Sanders, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Devonta Smith, Travis Hunter, Cedric Tillman, Josh Yua Palmer, Jalen Tolbert, Josh Reynolds, Trey McBride, Colson Loveland. The theory of Josh Reynolds is that Alan Lazard gets traded to the Steelers / cut. And Josh Reynolds is comfortably the wide receiver 2. I draft Mason Taylor, but he's quite fragile too. I know I'm not too into Justin Fields, the passer, but it's a different discussion in the 18th round. Right. So, am I the grinder of best ball? Maybe I'm the Phil Hellmuth with the success I've had, you know? Maybe I'm the grinder. I don't know. I don't use the machines. I am the machine. Just kidding. All right, folks. That's what we got today. I don't like Reynolds a lot, to be clear, but we have Fields. So, and it was a 20-second clock. Yes, this is true. They've said quite a bit that he's the clear-cut wide receiver too. So, if you care at all about Jets beats, that's being said, stick around for 2 hours. You might get some alpha at the end of the draft. Oh my god, dude. My community. I could party, dude. I could party. All right, folks. Appreciate you being here. Pretty wide range. Check out the pre-recorded video I put out. It's under the video section instead of live streams. Like, subscribe, join my Discord. Beatbestball.com. Going to have updated ranks tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Peace out.